The direction that we're heading right now, what does this mean for America?
If we continue heading in the same direction, we're going to lose complete and total control of our borders. Right now, we're at the verge. I mean, when you look at the number of people that we're arresting from the different countries, again, it's just something that we've never seen before, and that should be scary. It should be scary to people to know that we can clear out the bridge in Del Rio, and within a day, we're arresting people from Western African nations like Angola, Gambia, Senegal. When you look at we're arresting people from Uzbekistan at that exact same bridge the day after it was cleared out. That should send the message to the United States that we're in a bad place. And if we don't do something, if we don't do something quick, we risk losing our borders altogether.
Biden was pretending that they were going to start deporting all these people. What's the reality right now?
Well, we don't know completely what it is. We know that about 12,000 have been released. We don't know if the other 5,000 are going to be released yet because they're still in processing proceedings. So we just don't know. And it's very difficult to get that information in real time. Secretary Mayorkas has that information in real time, but it's difficult for anybody else to get that information in real time.
From a terrorist threat perspective, how endangered is America right now?
Well, you're going to have to ask the Intel department on that one. The Intel community is going to be able to speak with that. All I can speak with is what we see on the border right now. What I can tell you is that there are gaps in our coverage that the criminal cartels are exploiting. They cross a large number of people at one time, knowing that they're going to pull our resources out of the field. When they pull our resources out of the field, it creates those gaps. Those gaps would then allow them to smuggle their higher value products into the United States, whether that's drugs or people from special interest countries. But the intelligence community is going to know that question, the answer to that question better than I would.
And we've seen evidence of that, high value targets paying the cartels to come across. People don't realize that. It's not just people supposedly looking for a better life. The cartel will take anyone across if they pay, right?
Yeah, they're able now to go into countries throughout the world and advertise their services. Again, you look back in late 90s, early 2000s, it was all from Mexico. That's what we were dealing with. Illegal immigration was all from Mexico. Now it's from countries throughout the world. I mean, the UN recognizes 195 different countries. That's what they recognize. We're arresting people from more than 151 of those countries. So of course we're arresting people from countries that want to do us harm, that do not like the United States, that would want nothing more than to destabilize our communities. So yeah, it should be scary to American citizens. But the thing is this isn't rocket science. This is easily controlled. We just have to have the policies to do it. Unfortunately, this administration isn't giving us those policies.
They know that those policies work, and they're choosing to not do it. That's intentional.
It is intentional. It is. I mean, if you're going to ask why, it would only be my opinion. I don't have any evidence as to why. But come on, we can all add 1 + 1 always equals 2. We know that if they get more people into the country and they legalize more people, that's just more voters. Whether that's the reason, I don't know. Your viewers can do the math on that.
On the COVID testing, we talked about this a little bit before. Virtually none was taking place months ago. I can't imagine now with even a larger influx that you have time to do any of that.
No, the only people that we actually test are the ones that are going to be held in custody. So if they're going to be held in custody for deportation proceedings, they'll be tested. But if we're going to release them, and again, we're releasing about 60 to 70% of the people that cross the border illegally, we're not testing them. We're releasing them, and we're releasing them to non-governmental organizations who are supposed to test them, but once they're out of our hands, they're no longer in government custody. They don't have to take those tests, and there's no way for us to verify if the non-government, the NGOs are actually testing them anyway. So yeah, the testing is non-existent. So we are likely releasing people into the United States that have COVID that are going to affect our citizens.
And we're putting them on planes and buses and everything else.
We are. That's exactly what's happening. I mean, all you have to do is go down. Well, you've done it.
Yeah.
You do it all the time. When you go down the border, when you get on a plane from one of these border towns, who's on the planes? It's all people that just barely crossed the border illegally that were just released. But what most Americans don't understand is when people cross the border illegally, when they get released, people don't understand that these people are being released with a de facto legal status. We're rewarding them for violating our laws. That's the first thing that we're doing, and that's what's drawing so many people here. If we go back to policies, good policy, again, like I said in the conference, I don't need more manpower. I don't need more technology. I need good policy. With good policy, that border can be secured.
And we saw that under President Trump.
We did.